going on, everyone? Welcome back to BDS Suspension. We are on part 3 of our Bronco build. Last time you were with us, we did everything suspension, right? Test fitted everything. We've taken all that suspension off now. That, including our wheel package, is all out at powder coat, getting those finishing touches. And today we're here to talk about the little details. So turning this new Bronco into a truck takes a lot of work. There's a lot of things to think about, from making sure glass fits, or making sure the bed of it actually seems like a bed. The tonneau cover on it, all that kind of stuff has to fit perfectly. So what these guys started out doing is they cut the back half of this off, obviously, and then they married the rear end of this, which includes where it says Bronco and the satellite receiver and everything, up to the front of the cab to create a cab. So we have our new removable hardtop that's going to fit on this truck just perfectly as well. So really this thing is going to appear and function pretty much like a truck.
All right, so now that the bulkhead, all right, there it is. The hardtop is all done. It's getting finished up at the body shop with paint and whatnot. Right now I'm working on developing the bulkhead. And the bulkhead is basically like the front of your truck bed or the back of your cab. So it'll be a big piece of metal right here basically that closes off the truck bed from the rest of the body of the vehicle.
So when you think about a truck, on the back of it, you think about a tailgate, right? Drop down, be able to slide your stuff in. So another thing that we've done with this Bronco is we've actually changed it from a swing open door to a tailgate. So we took all the innards from a Ranger tailgate and we're building a custom one, and it's gonna function just like a normal truck would. Building this Bronco to be as authentic as possible, we really needed to keep in mind a utilitarian build. So what we're doing in the back here is we have started with a cargo glide that's going to be in the bed of this thing, super fast, easy access to be able to pull out. Above that, we've got a tonneau cover. And then on top of that tonneau cover, we've got our bigger rack to be able to strap everything to. We also outfitted this rack with some rigid lights for not only nighttime use, but strobe lights as well. So we're gonna be able to pack as much stuff as we need to on this and then have everything protected underneath.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Because then you can put the chainsaw over that.
So this Bronco is outfitted with all sorts of rigid lights. Up on the roof, we've got the Rigid 360 series 6-inch LEDs. We have the Ford Performance by Rigid 360 series 4-inch LEDs on the cowls. We have the Rigid SRM LED lights on the bed rack and the Rigid A series LED underbody lights. So to go with all the rigid lighting on this build, we've added a ton of strobe as well. This Bronco really is ready for any emergency situation. So our friends over at Crawltech have developed front and rear winch bumpers for this Bronco. Meaning we're gonna have a Warn winch up front and a Warn winch in the back. This is gonna help us maximize our recovery efforts, as well as give us a better approach angle and departure angle, and obviously increase the armor on the vehicle.
All right, for the past few days I've been wiring this thing, and it's been quite a challenge because we're putting so many accessories on this, as you may think with a fire truck. So we've got the flashers on the fenders. We're gonna have flashers on the back also, and flashers on our new front bumper.
We're gonna have rock lights on here. We're gonna have a light bar across the top, our light mounts on the cowl, and then we're also gonna have big power go into our winches. So this is gonna be to run to the rear, and you want a big power. Big wire.
You want big power,
yeah.
big power, boy.
So we're gonna throw a couple Warn winches on this thing. One's gonna be in the rear, and being that far away, you're gonna want a big power wire and big power. There's winches in the rear.
There are winches in the rear.
Warn.
Product placement.
So with having a winch in the rear, we're gonna have to send a lot of power back there. So we've got this double-aught wire, and then we've also wired in 500 amp fuses for each winch. Warn. It's not good.
No, it is good.
Well, the Warn is good. I am not good.
Talking on camera's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wires. So to finish out the tail end of this truck, we decided to go with a Yakima Load Warrior rack. Mounting a lot of stuff on the back of this thing is really important for a utilitarian build. So we have things like our ARB jack, chainsaw, axe, fire extinguisher, things that you would need in any emergency situation. As you can see, we're missing the seats from the interior. That's because they're over with the folks at Catskin Leather getting reupholstered. So as we start to put this Bronco back together, we are going to be utilizing some of the OE equipment, like our switch panel up here. So all of these emergency lights, all the rigid lights will be running through this panel. Down below the panel, you can see the Garmin Overlander. So that's going to give us all of our off-road trails, tracking capability, anything that we need while we have this thing off-road. So obviously with any emergency response vehicle, sirens and a PA system are a big deal. So we have actually hidden ours in the center console. So when it comes to fit and finish, it's really important that we keep an eye on detail to get this thing back to looking like a fully finished OE interior. Some things that we're doing to accomplish that is we're actually 3D printing some pieces that are gonna fill in different spots of the interior here and make it look as OE as possible. So with just days to go, the team obviously has a lot to do, but make sure you stick with us for the next video that's going to show the final reveal of this 2021 Bronco.